Good morning, Wichita, and good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining us for this week's Mayor's Briefing on July 3rd. As we all know, tomorrow is the 4th of July, and we're excited to celebrate Independence Day right here in our community. Just a reminder, the Sedgwick County non-emergency line for firework concerns and complaints is open from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m. through July 6th. That number is 316-290-1011. This line serves as a way to report complaints about fireworks, loud parties, excessive noise, and other non-emergent calls. It's important for everyone to be able to get through the emergency number, so please only use 911 for actual emergencies. Again, that non-emergency hotline is 316-290-1011. And of course, if you're shooting off your fireworks, make sure you thoroughly douse your spent fireworks and dispose them properly. If you don't want to shoot off your own fireworks, you can see amazing fireworks displays all across our city, including outside of Century 2 on the 4th of July. Here to talk about our annual Red, White, and Boom event is Barbara McGuire with Wichita Park and Recreation.
Good morning, everybody. So Wichita's biggest Independence Day celebration, Red, White, and Boom, is back, but there is a twist this year. There is a new scenic view for the shoot. We hope that you join us tomorrow, July 4th, as we watch the fireworks display being launched from the top of the iconic Garvey Center Twin Towers. This is the first for Red, White, and Boom, and we're really excited about the new location. So instead of the riverbank, it'll be Kennedy Center, which is north of Century 2, which will be the main central hub for the viewing area for the fireworks. We do invite you to bring your lawn chairs and your blankets and come early so you can get a good seat and get ready for the show. Now, while you're waiting, there will be food trucks that will be on Douglas. We'll have 7 food trucks there, so you can make sure that you get a chance to come hungry. And then also, too, while you're waiting, you can also download the Pyro app or scan the QR code, and this will allow you to listen to the music that is choreographed with the show when the show starts. Now, for a more exclusive experience, Century 2 is hosting a balcony party, and the balcony party is going to have a fantastic view of the show. So the tickets are $10. They are on sale now, and I believe you can also get them on site, and you can get those through Century 2 via Select a Seat. So here is the schedule for the evening. At 3 o'clock, Douglas will close from Waco to Main, and then the Civic Center and North Wichita by the Garvey Center will also be closed too. Food trucks will begin at 6 o'clock. The fireworks begin at 9:30 or immediately following the wind surge fireworks. So we want to wait until they're done before we start ours. So Wichita Parks and Recreation and the Wichita Parks Foundation, we want to make sure that we thank Evergy, who's been so incredibly generous for helping to present and sponsor this show. We'd also like to thank our new partner, Raising Cane's, and then Odyssey Wichita and Cake TV for their support in our show too. So for a complete listing of road closures, you can go to Red, White, and Boom. Go to wichita.gov/boom. And to get tickets for Century 2, you can go to selectaseat.com/boom. Now, we know this event is a fan favorite, and we are once again excited to bring this to community, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you very much, Barbara, and looking forward to Red, White, and Boom just outside of Century 2. It will be a great new location and should be a fan favorite for anyone who's looking to see fireworks here in the city of Wichita. And the 4th of July celebration does not stop tomorrow. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, July 5th, Old Cowtown Museum, located at 1865 West Museum Boulevard, hosts its annual Independence Day event called Celebrate America. Here to tell us more is Old Cowtown Museum Executive Director James Quint.
Good morning, everyone. We are very excited to host our Celebrate America event this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a wonderful opportunity to see how historic celebrations of Independence Day took place. We have activities that are taking place throughout the day that are based on historical events in Wichita. So from temperance marches to gunfights based on dime novels, vintage baseball games. We'll have 2 of those that day. We'll have wagon rides and all kinds of activities taking place with saloon girls and town folk in the area for folks to enjoy. It's just a wonderful way to see how the 4th of July was celebrated just a few years after the Civil War and at a time when the country was rapidly changing and Wichita was really booming from the cattle drives. So come on out to visit us that day. General admission for that day is $15, and there are discounts for seniors. The museum also participates in the Blue Star program, so all active duty military can come free to this event, as well as the Museums for All program, which allows residents who may not be able to afford the regular admission fees to come to the museum as well and enjoy the activities. So we're very excited, and we encourage everybody to come out and visit us on the day after the 4th. Thank you.
Thank you again, James. Appreciate all the activities that are happening in our community and especially at Old Cowtown Museum. Again, that is on Saturday, July 5th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, it's called Celebrate America at Old Cowtown Museum. And while 4th of July celebrations are fun for people, they can sometimes be stressful for our pets. Here to tell us more on how to keep your pets safe during the 4th of July is Shelter Manager Emily Hurst.
Thanks, Lily. You come. Sorry, I'm waiting on what we have aptly named Wiggles here. She, if you can't quite tell when she's being held up, she's a sweetie. She does love lap time. But her little button nub wiggle like crazy. She is very well behaved. She has a little issue jumping, but she knows how to sit. She's very treat motivated, so I'm sure that training her will be super easy. Like I said, she's very, very sweet. She was actually abandoned in a hotel here in Wichita, which actually happens more than we would like to see. Her animal number is A177845. She is already spayed and a female and should be available at the Kansas Humane Society for adoption, maybe even later today, if not tomorrow. So if you are interested in adopting her, please make sure that you call them and place a reservation on her. Like I said, she's super sweet, super playful. We're guessing about a year old. She really has just melted into his arms. Right now, we're seeing at least 15 new dogs in the shelter every single day and 18 cats. Like they talked about the 4th of July and with our storms recently, fences come down, your enclosures can be damaged. Please make sure you're double checking those, especially with fireworks going off day and night for the next couple days. The 4th of July, I cannot repeat enough, is the highest intake at all time. We are already at capacity, and so it really puts a lot of cats and dogs in danger if they get loose and then come into the shelter. So please make sure that your pets are microchipped or at least have the tag on, and most importantly, make sure that they're in a safe and secure environment, and please keep them away from fireworks and social events. I did want to give us also a quick update since June is over to give you guys our stats. We had 999 animals come in. Some of those were everything from goats and pigs, but we also had 515 cats, 467 dogs. We were able to get 156 of those back to their owners. We did, sad part of that is that again, only 6 of those animals were cats. So if you own a cat and would like it back at the shelter, those fees are waived. All we ask is that it has a rabies vaccination, or we provide a voucher for $25. Additionally, we had 545 animals transferred to one of our adoption partners, like the Kansas Humane Society or one of our rescue partners. We do rely on them for adoption, so please make sure that you're supporting them. If you are ever going to think about adopting, July is one of the highest intake months of the year. Now is the time to do it. And I think that's all I got for today. Thanks, Lily.
Thank you very much, Emily, and hopefully Wiggles gets adopted very soon. And again, great tips for those of us who are pet owners about keeping our animals safe during this 4th of July. And now to talk about some other great events happening around the community is Jamel Holoparik from Visit Wichita.
Hello, everyone. What a great weekend we have ahead of us. It's going to be so fun. Red, White, and Boom. Love that every year in Cowtown. We've been talking about that a lot this week, so a lot of fun things. Also throughout July, Music Theater Wichita, Crazy for You, fabulous show. It'll be July 9th through the 13th. They say it's a toe-tapping romantic comedy and one you got to see. And then also Newsies, July 30th through August 3rd. And then big sports fans, we have the basketball tournament, TBT, that's July 18th through the 22nd over at Koch Arena. Wichita State alumni, the Aftershocks will be playing 64 teams in Wichita, so we love that for our economic impact. And the winner of this tournament will take home $1 million. So tough competition out there. And then we have the NBC World Series, July 24th through August the 2nd. This will be at X Stadium. And then the championship game will be at Equity Bank Park. And 16 teams will be here for the NBC tournament. That's been going on a long time, and baseball fans love this. So we have so much going on in Wichita and our great city. Just go to visitwichita.com for all the information.
Thank you very much, Jamel. So some music theater and also some basketball in the month of July. Lots of great things happening here in our community. And now here to show an episode of Well Done Wednesday is Chris Gupalan from Wichita Police.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. I'm Officer Chris Gupalan, the Public Information Officer for the Wichita Police Department, here with another episode of our Well Done Wednesday series. So just to go over basically what happened in this episode. So in a moment of crisis, Officers Hernandez and Officers Akey responded to a call that would test their training and their compassion. Dispatched to a shooting, they arrived to find a victim wounded and in desperate need. With every second counting, these officers acted swiftly. Officer Hernandez applied a tourniquet, halting the life-threatening bleeding. And meanwhile, Officer Akey, with a calm and steady voice, kept the victim conscious, offering reassurance in the face of uncertainty. Their actions weren't just about saving a life. They were about embodying the heart of policing, a dedication to serve and protect. Their training kicked in, but it was their compassion that kept hope alive. Each moment, each action is a testament to their commitment to the community that they serve. As Wichita Fire and Sedgwick County EMS arrived to transport the victim to safety, these officers stood as a beacon of heroism. Without their swift response, without their unwavering compassion, the outcome could have been tragically different. Both Officer Hernandez and Officer Akey were awarded the WPD Life Saving Award. Now, if you could, please watch with me as we view what happened that day.
Cannot take it off your leg. You're bleeding a lot. If we take it off you, there's a really good risk that you die, okay?
In a moment of crisis, Officers Hernandez and Akey responded to a call that would test their training and compassion. Dispatched to a shooting, they arrived to find a victim, wounded and in desperate need. With every second counting, these officers acted swiftly. One officer applied a tourniquet, halting the life-threatening bleeding.
Where's the shot? Where's the shot? Right here in the leg. Right, put the tourniquet. Victim, gunshot wound to the leg.
Another officer, with a calm and steady voice, kept the victim conscious, offering reassurance in the face of uncertainty.
You're gonna be okay, alright? EMS is on their way, okay? What's her name?
Their actions weren't just about saving a life. They were embodying the heart of policing, a dedication to serve and protect. Their training kicked in, but it was their compassion that kept hope alive.
Stay with me.
Each moment, each action, a testament to their commitment to the community they serve. As Wichita Fire and Sedgwick County EMS arrived to transport the victim to safety, these officers stood as a beacon of heroism. Without their swift response, without their unwavering compassion, the outcome could have been tragically different. To all the officers involved, well done.
You cannot take it off your leg. You're bleeding a lot. If we take it off, there's a really good risk that you die, okay?
Again, we just ask that you follow us on social media. Wednesdays, we like to put these out and give you a glimpse of the good works and the fantastic works that the officers are doing weekly. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you to all our officers and first responders for what they do for our community every single day. Well, a great service to those facing challenges is from Mental Health of America. Here to tell us more about mental health is Eric Littweiler.
Thank you, Mayor. I feel kind of bad because I know we're walking into a holiday weekend and it's a time for celebration, but at the same time, I'm asked here to talk about mental health. And under the circumstances, I feel like it would be kind of irresponsible of me not to mention the potential impacts of the Medicaid cuts being voted on today in the House and how they will impact the state and condition of mental health in our community. I'm sure nearly everybody here knows the dramatic cuts to Medicaid have been passed by the Senate already, and they are being reconciled in the House as we speak. Sadly, these cuts are likely to spell the end of access to health care, both mental and physical, for huge swaths of Kansas, including many right here in Wichita. In addition to the likely shuttering of up to 65 rural hospitals throughout the state, the number of Kansans who rely on Medicaid for their health care is roughly equivalent to the entire population of Wichita. 56% of those affected are children. 14,000 of them are veterans. Medicaid is a lifeline for the most vulnerable populations throughout the city of Wichita, including new mothers, older adults, farmers, those who are disabled, and many more. The loss of coverage will be impacting businesses as well throughout the city, as large numbers of their employees who have lost coverage for their children, for instance, can no longer come to work because they need to stay at home and take care of their children, lacking any other health care social safety net. And at the same time, loss of this health care safety net will increase the burden on taxpayer-funded systems like child welfare departments, law enforcement, and crisis response. This loss also significantly sets back recent progress made on addressing our nation's opioid crisis after 2024 finally began to see a decline in those concerns. And of course, for large nonprofits like MHA, the increase in uncompensated care to the community mental health organizations throughout the state would be an estimated $42 billion across the country, which will drive out many businesses and people who work in this area. There is obviously nothing at this point that we can do to escape the fact that the bill has passed the Senate, but there is still an opportunity for all of us to affect how it ends up being enacted. Please call your senators and Congress members to let them know which aspects of these cuts are most important to you, in hopes that this reconciliation that's currently happening could be modified to minimize risk for those at-risk groups that I mentioned. MHA will do our best to remain available to the 100,000 Wichitans every year who live with a diagnosable mental illness, but we already know that the two programs most likely to be cut first will be first a program that provides mental health care to veterans, and secondarily that provides housing to homeless vets. This sadly will undo many of the gains that Wichita has had of achieving functional zero homelessness among veterans throughout the city, but because these two programs were funded by grants from Medicaid, when those grants disappear, the programs will as well, and there's nothing we can do about that. Obviously, we'll continue to seek private funding sources for those whose families have been affected by mental illness, and through private companies as well, who recognize the value of our programs for staff and customers. But again, I would just ask, please contact your congressional representatives to request continued funding for those vulnerable populations if you're able to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And one more reminder, City Hall is closed tomorrow, July 4th. We will have our weekly agenda review following this media briefing at 11:30 a.m. right here inside the City Council chambers. And with that, I always like to leave you with some good news that has happened in our community. I know that Reggie, our Director of Park and Rec, is here, so I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of Ability Point. Ability Point is a nonprofit that helps individuals who have developmental and intellectual disabilities. They wanted to say thank you to the Park and Rec Department for all they do to help out with their Yes Camp, their summer camp, that really continues the enrichment, educational opportunities, and socialization that is important to our young people who are in need of some summer camp. So thank you again to the Parks and Rec Department. In addition, I'll just remind everyone that tomorrow, while City Hall will be closed, there are events happening in our community to commemorate Independence Day and America's 249th birthday. The American Revolution Memorial will be held tomorrow morning at Veterans Memorial Park at 9 a.m. And then the evening time, again, we've mentioned it multiple times, but Red, White, and Boom is a free event for our community from 6 to 10 p.m. and fireworks should be going off around 9:30 p.m. tomorrow with a new location, not overlooking the river, but rather you can watch the best show from Century 2. So we invite you all to these events, these free events that are happening in our community, and thank you all very much. We will take questions.
Mayor, just wanted to know, what does Independence Day mean for you, and how are you feeling right now? And like when you look at the city of Wichita, what do you hope they experience this weekend?
Well, Independence Day means a lot to me, especially as a first-generation immigrant to this country. I am very blessed and feel very privileged to live in America and in Wichita, Kansas. Having had the opportunity to travel and represent the air capital of the world, I couldn't wait to come back home to America. And I think we need to remind ourselves of what a privilege it is to live in this country, and that we all can do our part in helping make this a better community for all. And every time I see young people, like 2 interns that we have this summer, and individuals in our community that are wanting to do more by helping and being part of this great community, it makes me proud to be an American. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful Independence Day weekend.